So I have quickly realized that I have been living a very monotonous life. I wake up, go to work, come home, work out occasionally, eat of course, spend quality time with Anthony and the dogs, then rinse and repeat. But I feel like I have fallen into a monotonous and never-ending cycle of routine, and if I'm not careful, it can last a lifetime. But I have realized that there's absolutely nothing wrong with living a humble, simple life, even though the internet would say otherwise. But I am here to tell you, if you're living a normal life, it's not a bad thing. I've quickly also realized that we should be grateful and thankful for just living in general. Having the ability to go for walks, to have a job, to be able to afford to feed yourself, to have a roof over your head, to have a family, loved ones around. I mean, that is a huge blessing in itself. And it's okay if you're not going on extravagant vacations, on, long, wild, crazy trips. It's okay to have a normal life, to love the simple things. I'm realizing the older I get that the things that matter are literally in front of you. So I wanted to just bring you along and just show you that being normal and living a normal life is a great thing. Hello, what's up? How are ya? I have been gone for a little bit. That's because I don't know. I absolutely like and enjoy making videos and editing them and just being creative. Anyway, I also stopped just making videos because my life is just not that exciting as of late. I think I get into this mentality of if things aren't exciting or go, then nobody wants to watch it and it's boring, and why even take the time? But then the other part of me is like, that is life. Life is mundane, like 95% of it. So I have to start becoming a bit of a yes man. So for example, my brother and his girlfriend asked me to go play pickleball. I just say yes. Even if I'm not really in the mood, I have to start forcing myself to do things out of my comfort zone, because nothing happens in the comfort zone. I do have a tendency to be a creature of habit, where I don't like having a boring life per se, but I'm comfortable in it. So I don't really want to do anything that rocks the boat too much, because then I'm like, oof, should have stayed home. I'm sure a lot of you can relate. So it's trying to find a balance of knowing when to get out of a rut. And I feel like I've been in a rut for the past almost 2 years. So I need to get out of it. I need to force myself to do things. And also, I don't want to be apologetic about having a simple life. There is absolutely nothing wrong with living a simple, humble life. So I thought, let's just have you come along for a boring week in my life, because it's okay. I'm realizing I don't need to live an extravagant life. I probably wouldn't even be comfortable living it, because I'm not that person. I wanted to tell you guys where my mindset is at, so that you kind of understand where we're going, moving forward. I just want to bring you along with me to just normal, everyday things, because I do feel like YouTube is missing that sense of normalcy, where normal people don't create content and all we see is the other side of social media, where everything is great, extravagant lives, awesome summers, just visiting places every other day. A lot of people don't live that way. So anyway, let's just see what happens in this video. So I'll see you in a sec. Then later, I just lied in bed for a little bit, texting Anthony, and then I just browsed on my phone for a little bit. I get quite tired of being online quite fast, so then I start looking at whatever else is on my phone, like pictures or text messages, then eventually I get tired of that. But I think a lot of people don't like to admit that this is how they spend the majority of their day when it's their day off. But there's no shame in that. I personally enjoy laying in bed for a while just because I know that I need to recharge. And then when I'm ready and when I'm hungry, of course, I get up and make my way over to the fridge, where I am haunted between being healthy and making healthy choices, and the other option, which we all know what it is. And can you guess which option I chose? Yep, not gonna eat the carrots, but you don't always have to eat healthy. As long as you do for the majority of the time, you can enjoy, the kind of foods that you want to eat. Just do it in moderation. I'm not saying eat this for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, but once in a while, never hurt nobody. You know what I mean? Like these cookies. This is what I started with first. I didn't even make it to the actual food because I ate the dessert first. Then I went outside just because there's honestly something just refreshing and recharging about being outside. I'm not a big fan of the heat, humidity, the sun. I just don't like being sticky or sweaty, or I don't like being uncomfortable. So luckily today it was a little bit more cloudy and a little bit windy, and I know that it looks like it was pure blue skies, but here and there it wasn't. It was cloudy, and it was just nice to sit there and not even be on my phone, just to legitimately sit there, relax, and allow my thoughts to just take over for a minute without having some kind of distracting me from, my presence, my own just being. It was just nice to sit there and do nothing. This next thing does not happen daily, but it definitely needed to be done. So little Miss Coco her hair grows super fast, and we can't be taking her to the groomers just like every other week. So what I do is I just like to take some shears and then just trim her face. I guess you can try this at home, but only if your dog lets you, because you can see how close these shears are getting to her eyes. Luckily, she is just my ride or die, so she will practically let me do whatever to her just because she trusts me that I would never hurt her. So I trim around her eyes and just try to, keep it clean, keep it tight. Then eventually I get to her ears. She absolutely hates this, but she's always getting her ears or her fur into her food bowl, into water, and whatever things she can get into. So they get very tangled, and I like to take a normal little baby brush and just brush through her hair. Next, I was on my way to the gym. I've been doing pretty well at going about 3 or 4 days a week. On this day specifically, I was going to a class workout where we do it as a group, and honestly, I've just found that is just easier for me, because if I go to the gym by myself, I sometimes have no accountability. I tend to go to the bathroom, I take too long, I walk down, get a drink, and then it's like an hour, and then I'm like, well, I guess I came to the gym and I'm done. But going to a class forces me to actually work out. Later that day, after my workout, my brother and his girlfriend actually invited us to play pickleball, and we are fortunate and lucky enough to live in a really, really pretty area. So, look at this view. It's like a win-win. We get to play and enjoy the view and just have a good time. I have realized that I am a very slow morning person. I don't mind waking up early, but I'm just slow at doing things. It makes sense because you're just waking up. But I usually like to start with a coffee, and I've been doing just like a regular black coffee with a pump of sugar-free vanilla and sugar-free caramel. And then I also just kind of use the frother to froth oat milk, and really that's it. Then next, I let Louis or whoever, Coco or Bruno, whoever's there, out to go potty. And then while they are out there, I kind of just sit there for a minute and wait for them, because usually Coco goes out there and comes right back in like 10 seconds. So before I even do anything, I just wait for her to come back in. But I just sip on my coffee, stretch a little bit, catch up on just any random things like videos or whatever, piques my interest at 6:30, 7 a.m. Then after the dogs have been let out, the guinea pigs have been fed, I get ready for work. I don't like to do too much. I'm very basic, very simple, just like a nice little skin tint, blush, concealer, powder, of course mascara, and then I'm out the door.